What is your name, and can you tell us a little bit about your home?
Sure, my name is Kathy Simon.
My name is Meredith Sadin.
So I'm David Muller.
My name is Tracy Zhu.
Okay, my name is Barb.
And this is my home, which is one half of a duplex.
My house was built in 1941 here a little ways up the Oakland Hills.
And our home is, I think, around 65 years old. It's a one-story home. It's about 2,000 square feet.
My home is unusual. It's quite tall. It's a home that my wife and I designed and did a lot of the construction on about 40 years ago.
And what made you want to electrify it?
We decided we should do the right thing by the climate and for ourselves.
Because I was reading the news reports about the indoor air pollution caused by gas stoves.
My energy bill is also not my favorite thing to look at every month.
And still, there's all kinds of incentives. So we're not quite on the cutting edge, but we're close to the front. And those incentives made a huge difference.
Because I know the future of homes and buildings is to move away from gas and towards electricity.
And how did you hear about Electrify My Home?
About that time, since I was doing research on heat pumps, I was attending a lot of webinars on the matter. And one of them I attended, Larry Waters of Electrify My Home, was one of the speakers. And I listened to him speak about heat pump systems as not only an installer, but as an advocate. And I thought, that's the guy that I want to install my system.
And I had already talked to a number of HVAC contractors, so I was really thrilled to get the referral to somebody who specialized in electrification, because it was clear that Larry Waters and the team at Electrify My Home just knew a lot more about the process. In particular, I'll share that all of the other HVAC companies, I think there were 4 of them, had told me that in order to get a new heat pump hot water heater, heat pump furnace, I'd need to upgrade the electrical panel to 200 amps. I have my old 100 amp panel from the original house built in 1941. And Larry did the math and said, no, you don't need to upsize that panel. And so I was able to avoid that expense and that extra work of upsizing the panel. Really grateful to Electrify My Home for that.
I heard about Electrify from neighbors, actually, who had a really positive experience.
I hope we did our due diligence. I certainly feel we did, because we made the right choice. But we looked at next door, we talked to neighbors, and most important, PG&E has this free service where they have somebody who's an energy expert who helps you save energy. And when we got solar, and then we're looking into the HVAC system, we spoke with this wonderful guy who highly recommended Electrify My Home and explained that your owner teaches others about how to do HVAC heat pump systems and so forth. And we compared all the prices and the reviews, and we decided Electrify My Home was definitely the way to go.
I learned about Electrify My Home through a friend who had a really positive experience working with you all in installing his heat pump heating system in Richmond, California.
And how would you describe your home comfort after the installation?
Now that the heat pump mini split system is set up, it's really improves the comfort of my entire home. So I'm using my entire home now, whereas previously I was confining my activities to just 1 or 2 rooms.
We'd go over there on hot days, and it was so temperate. Like every room just was consistent and comfortable. And then the same for kind of colder days. We would kind of go over and hunker down together.
So this is the outdoor unit, the compressor for the ductless system that I use in my studio. So I'm using both a ducted system for the house and a ductless system for the studio, and Electrify My Home installed this as well.
So would you recommend friends and family to Electrify My Home?
Absolutely. I actually have recommended quite a lot of neighbors. I think two houses down, they use you guys, and across the courtyard. Absolutely, really, without any question.
I have already done so. Yeah, I just told a friend who was asking about it. I've told other people, but one of my friends is actually in consultation with you now.
As a matter of fact, I recommended Electrify My Home to my neighbor, and after he got several bids from other contractors, he selected Electrify My Home and has been happy with the results.
As I mentioned to you earlier, I recommended Electrify My Home to a lot of people. I get asked all the time, hey, do you have any contractor recommendations for heat pumps? And I always electrify my home, and many of the recommendations have hired Electrify My Home to install. So, and they've all been very happy as well. So, I just feel like Electrify My Home is sort of the gold standard.
I would absolutely recommend Electrify My Home, and I have actually. I have a bunch of neighbors and friends who are kind of thinking about making the move to electrification, and it is kind of without a doubt. There are no kind of qualifications when I recommend it, like, oh, well, okay, but you might not. It's like absolutely 5 stars. It was a really positive experience.